Good morning, guys. So in the previous lecture we have solved the crane hook problem. Okay, so today also we are going to solve the crane hook problem with the force which is shifted at a certain distance. So here I once again I'll recall the previous problem here. So here our previous problem, same crane hook we have, so where the application of load is 90 kilonewton at the same radius of curvature, means at the same radius of curvature we have the load. Okay, fine. So now here in this case you can observe, so first we shall read the question here. So compare the combined stresses at the inner and outer fibers in the critical section of a crane hook which is required to lift loads up to 25 kilonewton. So the hook has trapezoidal cross section with parallel sides 60 mm and 30 mm. So the distance between them being 90 mm. So here he has given. So here he has given the trapezoidal shape, the left loads up to 25 mm. So here he has given the load 25 mm. The hook has a trapezoidal cross section, parallel sides 60 and 30 mm. Depth is what? 90 mm. The inner radius of the hook is what? 100 mm. Okay. So here he has given the inner radius. Here he has given the inner radius. It is what? 100 mm. The load line is, so this is very important, you have to underline it. So here you have to underline the load line is nearer to the inner surface of the hook by 25 mm than the center of curvature at a critical section. This is very important. So here you can see the load is somewhere at a distance of 25 mm. So at a distance of 25 mm nearer to the inner fiber. So that is what he has said, nearer inner surface. So nearer to the inner surface of the hook. So nearer to this inner surface of the hook, it is 25 mm. Means the radius of curvature here, the radius of curvature is here. Okay, and the load is applied at a distance of 25 mm from the radius of curvature. Okay, so hook by 25 mm than the center of curvature at the critical section. What will be the stresses at the inner and outer fiber if the beam is treated as straight beam for the given load? So here the problem is same. The problem is same as the previous problem. So what is the thing we need to identify here? So I have explained in the last lecture. Once again I will recall it. I explained in the last lecture. Once again I will recall it here. So here you can see here in the last problem. So I said the distance. So can you see the distance? So here the distance is x is the distance from the applied load to the center of gravity. Okay, sorry, center of centroidal axis. Okay, so here what happens, the x distance. Oh, okay. Now I will draw all the notations that, so then you will get a clarity there. So here, so this is what trapezoidal shape whatever we have here. Okay, so here I am going to draw the two axes. One is centroidal axis, one more is neutral axis. This is centroidal axis, this is neutral axis. Okay, now I need to draw here two lines actually, radius of curvature and application of load. But what about the previous problem we have? Both are on the same line, but in this case both are different. So here is my radius of curvature and here is my load. So this is what load. So load here is given 25 kilonewton. This is what radius of curvature line. Okay, so here, so again I am saying, so now how to identify the here how to specify all the notations here. So distance between centroidal and neutral axis is E. Distance from the radius of curvature, sorry, distance from the inner to the centroidal axis is what? C1. Distance from the centroidal outer fiber to the centroidal axis is C2. Same thing if I consider neutral axis. So distance from the inner fiber to the neutral axis is Ci. Distance from the outer fiber to the neutral axis is C0. So here the same, here the distance from the radius of curvature to the inner fiber I can call it as R0. From the neutral axis, from the radius of curvature is Rn. From the centroidal axis to the radius of curvature is capital R. From the R, distance R0 will be the from the radius of curvature to the end of the outer fiber will be R0. Now where the force, what is the force here I need to find here is what? X. X is a distance, is where X is a distance from the applied load to the centroidal axis. So this is the distance X. This is the distance X. So now I need to find the distance X. So here is what? So here he has given distance from the radius of curvature to the applied load is 25 mm. So this is what? So this is Ri, sorry. This is radius of curvature to the inner fiber is Ri, radius of curvature to outer fiber is R0. So here the distance between these two, here he has given is 25 mm, and here Ri is how much? 100 mm. So what will be the X distance here? X is equal to 100 minus 25. Am I right? This is total is 100. In this 100, if I minus 25, okay, so this will be 75 mm. Okay, minus 100 minus 25 plus what? It is C1, or I can write Ri minus 25 plus C1. I will get what? X. So where this X is I am going to find from the moment. M is equal to F into X. So this is the X where I will get from this thing. And remaining thing whatever we have solved in the previous problem, same as the previous problem except this distance X. How is why this X? Because the force is shifted at a distance of 25 mm from the radius of curvature. Sometimes what happens, there is a chances from the hook, from hook this is the radius of curvature. The load may be applied somewhere at a distance of away from the distance of radius of curvature. In this case what we have to do, here whatever we have wrote Ri minus 25 in this case, so we have to make Ri plus this value, okay, this value. Fine Baba? Okay. So this is the shift of the problem or offset of the forces from the radius of curvature. Okay, can you solve this problem? So this problem I'll give it as a homework, so this you can solve it. So next we shall solve the another problem here. Okay, next problem is what? The section is in triangular form. Okay, we'll read the question there. So the horizontal cross section of a crane hook is an isosceles triangle. Here cross section of a horizontal cross section of a crane hook. The crane hook cross section is isosceles triangle of 120 mm deep. So 120 mm deep, the inner side width being 90 mm. So the hook carries a load of 50 kilonewton. So the inner radius of the curvature is 100 mm. So here the inner radius of curvature is what? Ri he has given, it is 100 mm. The line of action of load passing through the center of line of curvature. So here also same thing, what? The radius of curvature, the line of force, both are at the same point here. So determine the stresses at the extreme fibers. So this is very simple problem that we shall solve here. The same thing notations I have specified here. What is that? X, again you can see there the X distance is what? Distance from the load, distance from the load to the centroidal axis. I will specify this is centroidal axis, this is neutral axis. Okay, so here this distance from the radius of curvature to the inner fiber, it is Ri. Distance from the radius of curvature to the outer fiber, it is R0. From the radius of curvature to the neutral axis Rn, radius of curvature to the centroidal axis will be R. So C1, so E is the distance from the centroidal axis to the neutral axis. So C1 is the distance, C1 C2 is related to centroidal axis, CI, C0 is related to neutral axis. So CI, C1, C2 centroidal. So C1 is the distance from the inner fiber to the centroidal distance, outer fiber to the centroidal is C2. Same thing CI for the inner neutral axis. Inner fiber to the neutral axis is what? Ci. Outer fiber to the neutral axis is what? C0. Okay, fine. So this is the problem. Now we shall solve this problem. Okay, fine. So now, so he has given. So he has given the triangle. He said it is an isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangle is what? In all sides or all angles, all sides are equal, all angles will be equal there. So this is 90 mm he has given. The total depth is given is 120 mm. Fine. So I have specified the all the notations there. So what is given? Given is a load 50 kilonewton is said to find the stresses sigma I and sigma naught I need to find. Okay, and he has given Ri also. Ri is 100 mm. So what is the step 1 here? Step 1. So first to find x dash. So this is a simple triangular thing. X dash I can easily find. So we know that for the geometry x dash is equal to h by 3. So h is the depth, total 120 by 3 gives me the x dash. X dash will be 40 mm. So here x dash is equal to what? X dash is equal to 40 mm. So this is also I can call it as C1 is equal to 40 mm. So I can find all the notations. So C2 all the from the diagram I can find easily here. So here from the diagram I can find C2. How can I find C2? The total depth. Total depth minus C1 gives me what? C2. All those things I can find. Okay, and even I can find X also. X is what? Ri plus C1. So even I can find R0. R0 is what? Ri plus total depth H. So here what I need to find is what? Rn, C0, Ci and E. Okay, fine. So next step. So I'll go for the step 2. Step 2 is the direct stresses. So to find direct stresses, I know sigma is equal to F by A. Area of triangle I know easily, half into base into height. So half into base into height. So here half base 90 into depth is 120 or height is 120. So area is equal to 5400 mm square. So I got the area here. Fine. So now what will be the stresses? Sigma. So sigma is equal to 50 kilonewton he has given. Area is 5400. I'll get sigma. So that is what direct stresses I'll get 9.26 Newton per mm square. Okay. So now what will be the step 3? So what will be the step 3? Actually step 2 I need to replace the given eccentric force by an equal and parallel force. That you can write a sentence there, okay, or you can skip it. So here step 3 to find the bending stresses. Okay, to find the bending stresses. So first in that case, first moment, what m is equal to F into x. I said you once again, what is the x? X is the distance from the applied load to the centroidal axis. How can I find this? So here I know distance Ri, this is 100 mm. So from the inner fiber to the centroidal axis is C1. Already I found C1. C1 is nothing but what? X dash. Okay, C1 is nothing but x dash. Fine. So now, so f of x is equal to, load is 50 kilo, x will be what, or I can write f Ri plus C1 I can write. Okay. So this becomes Ri is 100 plus 40. So this moment m is equal to 7 into 10 raised to 6 Newton mm I am going to get. So this is what moment I got. Fine. Okay. So next, in that case 2, second one. So from the data handbook, so I can find, so same thing. So page number 163, if we go for the triangular shape. Okay. So here is the data handbook. So you can see the triangular part here. For the triangular part, I have here E is equal to R minus Rn, all these notations. So here he has specified what all the values. So this is C1 from the CG, the same thing what we have specified. So we know C1 and C2, okay. All those notations we shall specify. So before that, I'll write the formula from the data handbook there. So from the page table 10.1, figure number 6, page 163 from data handbook. So we have E is equal to R minus Rn. So that is what, R minus H square by 2 whole divided by R plus C2 ln R plus C2 whole divided by R minus C1. I'll close the flower bracket minus H. So this is the formula. Fine. So now we shall specify all the notations whatever we have there. So we know B is equal to, from the data handbook, whatever we have, the B value, C value, C1 value, C2 value, H value, that we shall specify. B is 90 mm, H is 120 mm, C1 we got from the x dash, I can call it as x dash also, it is 40 mm, and from here I can find what, R naught C2. C2 is what I said you, C2 is total depth minus C1, H minus C1 gives me what, C2, 120 minus 40 is 80 mm. R I can find distance from the radius of curvature as a distance from the radius of curvature to the centroidal axis. Distance from the radius of curvature to the centroidal axis is what, Ri plus C1, and even I can find R naught, Ri plus H. So this I have already discussed here. So R will be what, Ri plus C1, 100 plus 40, this is 140 mm. Okay. So next will be R naught is equal to Ri plus H. Ri is 100, H is 120, I got 220 mm. Fine. So now I'll find E. I know all the notations here. E is equal to 140 minus 120 square by 2 whole divided by 140 plus 80 ln 140 plus 80 divided by 140 plus 40 square bracket minus 120. So finally I got what, H value here, sorry, E value. So finally I got E is equal to, finally I got E is equal to 5.32 mm. So once I got E value, what, so now what I can do, I can find, once I got E value here, I can find Ci and C naught. How I can find C1 minus E gives me what, Ci, or I can write C naught, how can I find C2 plus E, or I can find C2 as H minus Ci. Okay, H minus Ci also I can find, or however I can find. So now from the diagram we can find. So now what will be the C naught? C naught is C2 plus E, am I right? However I can write. So I am writing in differently here, C2 plus E, or I can write C1 minus E, both are same. Not C1 minus E, I can write C2, however I can write C2 is C naught is equal to C2 plus E, 80 plus 5.32, I got 85.32 mm. So now Ci is what? H minus C naught. So total depth minus C naught, I can find Ci. So this is 120 minus 85.32, I got 34.68 so mm. So finally I am going to find the bending stresses. So in that third case, bending stresses at inner fiber, same thing we have wrote sigma I is equal to MCI by AERI. So this is the positive value. So this already I wrote the equation number and data handbook number in the previous lecture. So directly I am going to substitute the values there. 7 into 10 raised to 6, 34.68, area is 5400, E is 5.32 and Ri will be 100. So sigma I bending stresses, I will get 84.5 Newton per mm square. Okay, same thing. So bending stresses for the outer fiber, at outer fiber, so sigma naught is equal to, this is a negative value, so this is a compression. So C naught, sorry, this is C naught AE R naught. So this is minus 7 into 10 raised to 6 into 85.32 whole divided by 5400 into 5.32 into 220. So this gives me sigma naught is equal to 94.5 Newton per mm square. Sorry, it is not a positive value, it is a negative value. Okay. So finally the resultant stresses. Step 4 is what? Resultant stresses. And that first one, resultant stresses at inner fiber, sigma I R is equal to, it's a sigma plus sigma I. I said it's a resultant stress is nothing but what? Combined stresses. Combined stresses is what? Direct and bending stresses. So bending stresses I have the inner and outer fiber. So here I know the direct stresses 9.62. So now we have found the inner, it is 84.5. So what will be the inner fiber stresses? 93.76 Newton per mm square. Fine. So now I need to find the same thing for the resultant stresses at outer fiber. Sigma naught R is equal to what? Sigma plus sigma naught is what? 9.26 minus 94.5 gives me what? Sigma naught R, that will be minus 85.24 Newton per mm square. Also I can find the shear stresses. So maximum shear stress tau max is equal to sigma max by 2. Okay. So what will be the sigma max? Tau max in both the cases, this is the maximum 93.76 by 2. I'll get 46.88 Newton per mm square. So this is the problem. Fine. Okay. Now we shall stop the class. So I'll continue in the next class. Thank you.